What do you do with a deceased person's bank accounts? Hi, I'm Attorney Paul Deloughery, and there are 3 or maybe 4 different scenarios here, depending on how you count. So here we go. First of all, there might be a payable on death or POD designation. So you simply go to the bank and ask them if there's a payable on death designation, or tell them that the person has passed away. Ask how you can get access to the account, and they'll likely tell you if there's a payable on death or a POD designation. So if that's the case, then you access it simply by providing your ID and a certified copy of the death certificate, and the bank should be able to transfer it that way. If there are joint owners on the account, and if you're one of the joint owners, well, you would know if you're one of the joint owners, because you're going to be getting statements and that kind of thing. So if you are a joint owner, then you most likely can get access to the account that way. Here in Arizona, the rule is that when there are 2 or more owners or signers on the account, then it's deemed to be it's deemed to have a right of survivorship feature unless the account says otherwise. So if there are 2 or more owners on the account, then the surviving owner or owners can then access that account. So if you don't have either of those, no POD designation, there's no joint owner, it was just in the deceased person's name alone, then we have to figure out a different way. Now, if it's not one of the first 2, if you don't have a POD designation and there's no joint owner, in other words, the account was just in the deceased person's name, then you have a couple questions. First of all, figure out if there was a will. If the deceased person left a will, then you have to honor the terms of that will, and then that will may or may not have to go through the probate court. Here in Arizona, the limit is $75,000 for what can avoid probate. Let me explain that better. If the amount of personal property, including accounts and artwork and cars, in the deceased person's name alone, minus liens and encumbrances, if the value of that is less than $75,000, then the heirs or heir can sign an affidavit and claim ownership to the property. Now, the trick here is if there's multiple people, then you all have to do it, because the affidavit says, well, frankly, the affidavit here in Arizona says, I am entitled to receive this property. And then there's one signature line. So it's really kind of intended for the surviving spouse, the sole child, something like that. I mean, you can kind of fudge it and maybe have multiple people sign it. But if you're not 100% entitled to the account, don't sign that affidavit, okay? That's perjury, because you are not entitled to 100% of the account. Okay, only sign it if you are entitled to 100% of the account. Okay, so there's that affidavit. Now, sometimes the bank will not honor that affidavit, even though everything seems fine, should be proper, and in that case, you just simply have to go to court and get someone, you or someone, appointed as personal representative of the deceased person's estate. That's a longer process, obviously. Here we've simplified it. Hence, the name of this channel is Probate Made Simple. So we will certainly try to expedite that for you and get you access to the account as fast as possible. So yep, that's it. Again, a quick recap. There's the payable on death feature. There may or may not be other account holders, and so the other account holders can get access to the account. And if you don't have those, look for a will and follow the terms of the will. If there's no will, then the Arizona statute or the state statute, whatever state you're in, is going to determine who's entitled to get that bank account. And then you may or may not have to go to court and open a probate and get a personal representative, or maybe in your state it's called an executor. Here in Arizona, it's personal rep appointed, who will then get letters of personal representative. That's what it's called. And you get a certified copy of that. You take it to the bank, and they will then give the personal representative access to the account. Well, specifically, they'll allow the personal representative to transfer it to an estate account. Okay, so there's kind of more to it. In any event, if you have questions, give us a call. Our phone number is 602-443-4888, and thanks for watching.